Hello everybody and welcome to a new video. This one's going to be very casual, laid back, as I'm just recording this on my phone. But I just want to describe my newfound love of typewriters, which is kind of odd thing in today's, I guess, modern world where we have computers and smartphones to type and write everything we want. I was always really interested in writing, but I never had too much passion or sort of motivation to continue more than maybe a few pages. So that's why I kind of limit myself to poems. But even those, I tend to struggle to, find motivation to write some or inspiration. But it's so weird that such an old piece of technology has actually brought me back into sort of making these sort of just writing in general. Sorry if that sounded mumbled, but yeah, so I have two typewriters here. So this one I believe is from the 1970s. It's a Royal. This is a Underwood wood number 5. I know more about this one because I tried finding the value because it seems like it's more valuable, but actually these are around the same price, so that's pretty interesting. You may ask why I have two typewriters, and that's because I didn't actually pay for these and bought them myself, because these were actually given to me by my parents, which were cleaning out this hoarder's house, and they allowed us to take various antiques, and two of these were typewriters, which is really cool. So I first tried finding the worth, but then I'm like, wait a minute, I actually kind of was interested in typewriters in the past before. I was thinking of buying one my own because I just think it's just a really cool piece of history, even if it's from the 70s. And just typing on it is like a huge, I guess, disconnect from all the distractions that you may have on a computer or tablet or phone when you write. So yeah, and it's actually proven to be true for me. It won't work for everyone, but for me it's definitely helped. I think to most people it would definitely help with minimizing distractions when writing, but me quite a bit actually. I've been journaling actually for it's a little over a week, maybe almost a week and a half, which is actually my longest run and of journaling, which is kind of weird. It's very little, barely any journaling. So yeah, barely any time journaling. Very, very short compared to months, years, more years of other people's journaling. But with me, it's actually quite a huge step, not because of the days, because how much I write. So I write at least half the page of a normal sheet of paper. So like this, I will reach up to here for one day, and this is generally how it is. It will be less spacing in between. I made an extra space to to make a difference. Sorry, I cannot pronounce. To make a difference between this machine and that machine. So the top is actually bigger, surprisingly, even though it's a smaller typing machine, typewriter. The second one is actually, well, the second one, it is smaller, surprisingly. So yeah, it's more, it's a bigger machine. They weigh basically the same though, which is kind of funny. But yeah, I believe this one is 1923, based on just the copyright last date. So that's what I'm assuming this is, because I definitely know it's somewhere around the 1920s to 1930s. It's a Model 5, but the number has been scratched off. And how I know generally it's a Model 5, even though the number scraped off, is there's just four rows instead of 3 rows, and those other weird stuff on the top if you see a Model 1, which is also another very popular model. So yeah, I'll just give you a brief overview of both typewriters. I'm just going to mainly keep this one though. I'm probably going to sell this one and get a more portable typewriter if I can, if I ever want to take it anywhere. I doubt I will, but maybe one day. But this one does basically everything this one does, except this one's just newer, and this one's like an older piece of technology. And surprisingly, even though it's older, almost 100 years if it's 1923, it still functions exactly the same as this, and it's very, very durable. It's not really gonna break down or anything, so very cool. So both of them have, I guess the first thing I'll talk about is that both of them have a sort of thing that goes with the paper. So these are the rolls. So you see that they kind of roll with this giant roll, basically. So they're like small rolls, and they go with the large roll. Yeah, wow. And this one's cool because this one kind of goes like that and that. So there's like 3 modes of it. It's pretty cool. This one just has 2, not one in the middle because it's a little different design. I'll take the sheet. So that's generally how it goes in. I discovered that these actually do have to be down in order to use them. This one doesn't need this to be down, it just sort of helps with it, but this actually needs it to be down in order to even put the paper in. But then you could take it up if you want, if you really wanted to. But it always helps with the rollers, mini rollers on them. I have no idea the technical terms of what they're called. But yeah, this is basically it. From a typewriter view, you're basically going to be seeing that. You could still see it. You could definitely see it a lot better here because it's a lot less obscuring the view. But I mean, I'm pretty tall. I could see above, like right here, or here, I guess. So it's not too bad. And plus, I guess I should have mentioned this. This is the biggest difference, actually. This is a closed typewriter. So this, all the machine parts, the little stampy stamps, the little metal parts that stamp on the ribbon to make the ink, like that. Wow. Oh man, it's kind of I don't know if I should type something or just gibberish, but I guess it's just gibberish. And also it depends on how hard you type on these or press. This one is a little newer, so this one has touch control, which if I could rip it from the beast, and oh yeah, that's another feature. So you can move it back and forth. Oh, I don't want to hurt it too much. But yeah, each one has bells too. I'm sorry if it's all over the place, but it's not really meant to be a serious video. Just expressing my love of typewriters. And let me, oh, that did not sound good. It's very difficult sometimes to take that off, which is a little annoying because another thing with this typewriter, or typewriters in general, is that you need to have these they're wounded. So as you type, they sort of slowly unspool, and they type onto the actual thing. So this sort of lifts up, types, and starts going down the spool. So this is the larger one, this is the less one. It's just very annoying once this runs out, which will be like a few pages. You have to rewind it by taking off the cover and rewind it by finger. Or at least that's how I've been doing it. I heard of this model you could simply reverse it and then it just does it back and forth. But still, you have to lift the cover, which is kind of annoying. Here, what's pretty nice is that there's actually a little windy thingy that winds the tape, or the ribbon, which is actually really amazing. Also, what is another cool feature on both of these is that they use the same type of ribbon that I just got on Amazon. So these are just the black and white, so you can switch black and white here, which is pretty nice. This one has black, white, and black, red, and white, which I tried white, it just kind of does black, because I don't have white ink. I don't know why would you need it if it's predominantly white. I mean, I'm using yellow, but that's because, you know, I don't want to use up all my printer paper. So yeah, it's interesting that it's these spools on Amazon, if you ever get your typewriter, they actually fit most typewriters. So you don't actually have to do a lot of searching and research to see what exact typewriter ribbon you need for your typewriter, because this one model will fit most, which is actually pretty cool. Yeah, I don't really have much else to talk about. I mean, besides a few other features, like you could switch like how many lines you want to skip, so 1, 2, 3. Paragraph breaks, same thing could be done here. So I mean, they're not very different, it's just this one's a little bit more sleek. I mean, bigger, it's still the same way. So I don't see much purpose in holding onto this one, so I'll definitely be holding on this one if it does the exact same thing, basically. And, yeah, I mean, that's just my level for typewriters. I mean, I hope it's a really simple video, very casual, kind of maybe fun and interesting, maybe, to some people. But, yeah, it's just I have a lot of finals and stuff finishing up, so I don't have much time to work on some music videos or whatever. But, yeah, hopefully that's pretty good. Oh god, this is a very long video, I'm sorry.